Welcome, everyone. I am Rebecca Saltman, and I am here with Jade Rader, and this is the EMPATH Insights Summit. We noticed some time ago that there was a gap when it came to learning about being a sensitive and empathic person in the world. So we decided to do something about that. And voila, here we are. We started talking with other amazing empathic people and learned so much that we felt we needed to share it with the world. We love what we do so much, and we get to talk to the most amazing people in this process, and we learn so much every time. And so here we have today, Cathy Balken is one of our delightful co-authors in our EMPATH U anthology, launching on April 28th, 2022. Cathy shared a really great story in our book, and we might even be able to talk about it a little bit today. And so we're thrilled about the opportunity to talk to Cathy today. Let me share a brief introduction about her, if you don't mind. Cathy Balken is a writer, angelic intuitive, empath, Reiki master, and messenger of truth. She is a visionary whose goal is to help people really see themselves and others, heal through compassionate connection, and find their calling. A walk-in from the angelic dimensions, Cathy regularly visits other realms for knowledge and enjoyment. She has a special relationship with Seraphim, especially Ray, who she channels among other divine energy beings. Her strong connection to the divine energy provides her with the abundance needed to help others. Welcome, Cathy. We're so glad to be with you here today.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Jade. I'm so glad to be here. Happy to be here.
Yay. So Jade, do you want to get us started?
Absolutely. So Cathy, what do you do and how do you use your gifts out in the world?
That's a great question. There are several ways in which I use my gifts. First, I work in corporate America, and I have discovered over the past 2 years a large need to bring more empathy into the workplace and into my leadership. So I bring my intuition to work, and I help nurture understanding of others. This looks like empathy workshops and just a general empathy first approach. It's interesting because I'm often asked to help read people, to help those who are working very closely together understand either how to work better together or to help people sort of motivate their workforce. And I also do a lot of mentoring to help people move towards their purpose and further their careers. And most of all, I try not to let the job itself define me, but let my identity be shaped by my purpose. And then outside of work, I have read clients for healers, acupuncturists, therapists, to help them know how best to heal their clients. And that started small and sort of blossomed. I've helped lead or played a support role in several spiritual women's retreats, which are very powerful for growth, as you all know. And with my daughter, who is 12, we make awareness bracelets for clients of one of our world's top channelers to help shift energy. So I was so excited and honored to be asked to write a chapter in this empath book, EMPATH U. These messages are so important and relevant to everything going on in the world right now. So in addition to this book project, I'm also finishing a paranormal romance book called Providence, which I'm very passionate about. Providence is about starting over. It's about embracing your gifts, embracing what you love, being amongst friends and family. It's about working with what you can see and a little bit with what you can't see. It's a lot about love and intimacy and navigating those messy waters. It is based in a mythical coastal town near New Orleans, which in and of itself is a magical place. I just moved to New Orleans with my family a few years ago, and I've completely fallen in love with its culture and its uniqueness, particularly the people who make their living on the bayou. I can't wait to publish it and share that with the world as well. So right now, that's how I use my gifts, and no telling what 2023 will hold. Hopefully more books.
Woohoo! I kind of want to squeal because I can't wait to see the book.
Thank you.
So Cathy, what do you want people to know?
There is so much more to the world than just what you can see. Keep an open mind to the possibilities. My world is filled with magical creatures, not just because I'm a writer, holy angels, divine beings, other realms, because if you have crossed over and returned and miraculously healed, like I have, you become acutely aware of these beings in places beyond just ours here on earth. And these other worldly beings are finding their way into the media through, video games, television shows, fiction writers, which to me is a great example of art reflecting our rapidly changing reality. And, this is important. I want to share that you don't really get to pick your superpower. So embrace the gifts that you are given and let them take you to where you're supposed to go. And please, please know that you are not alone. If you are seeing dragons, for example, you're not alone. If you are seeing people in color, you're not alone. If you're seeing ghosts, which is the plot of my Providence book, you're also not alone. One of my coworkers said to me the other day that his friends were making fun of him because he was becoming certified to teach yoga. And my response to him was, find your tribe, the ones who will understand you. And I want to share a story here. My daughter has a friend that I met a few times. The third time I met her, she randomly handed me a sketch of a dragon and said, "This is for you." Let me show you guys this, if you can see it. How random is that? So I keep it here next to my desk as a reminder of that openness, that ease of sight that a child has that we should not lose when we grow up. And really the synchronicity around it. She had a message for me. Her sketch for me validated the legacy of dragons and the role that they play in both of our lives as protectors, as healers and guardians. But mostly I was like, wow, to get a message like that from a young woman who I just met in a city I had just moved to. And it was really beautiful. And it made me feel I am not alone either.
Oh, that is beautiful. And yeah, dragons are magic for many of us. Cathy, how did you open up spiritually?
That took a long time coming, but I would say, just to answer it briefly, I found my tribe. If we took our daily chats and published them, they would be supremely entertaining. So we seem to find meaning in everything and anything, whether it's numbers or animals. We do get together physically for long weekends, but we also get together online, Zoom coffee, WhatsApp type places. And we do touch base every single day. And just having that tribe to support you, to understand you, to laugh and cry with you, to not think you're crazy, to have those similar experiences and extraordinary gifts of channeling, mediumship, healing, seeing into events yet to happen. Having a tribe inspires you to embrace those gifts as well as share them with the world as intended. And one of my favorite quotes is, "Do not dim to fit in." Come out of the spiritual closet. And when we embrace our full selves, we empower others to do the same.
Oh, all I have to say is yippee. Finding our tribe. Clearly, we are in this tribe together, my dear. So now I want to know, why is it so important to have a conversation about the spiritual? What is that for you?
Well, I kept my gift a secret, we will call it, for years until it became so overwhelming and lonely that I had to seek out others like me. And so I asked a friend to lunch, and she does the social media, spiritual media, for 4 of the world's most prominent channelers and healers. And we had that conversation about my gifts, and I just reached out. And from there, we built a tribe to support us. So we gather together, like I said before, for spiritual retreats. And during one of these retreats, and this is, to me, how important a tribe is, one of the ladies introduced me to Bobansana and encouraged me to do a spiritual Bobansana retreat. And I didn't really know much about Bobansana, but I signed up anyway, and it was life-changing for me. Everything I had been holding on to that I wanted to do, my mission, my purpose, just came flowing out. And I actually wrote most of Providence in that one long weekend. And, during a spiritual retreat, you're supposed to be isolated, right? And, but I have a daughter, as I mentioned earlier. And so I did the best I could to be there, for her, and to retreat during her school hours. Well, what happened during this retreat, and at first I thought this is terrible timing, and then there's no such thing as terrible timing, right? I realized it was supposed to happen. My daughter's birth father passed away, and my teacher said, hey, why don't you do a Bhavensana ceremony with your daughter, to honor her feelings and his passing. And Bhavensana is a gentle healer, and just being in her presence feels like pure love. And so we did the ceremony, and I didn't really tell my daughter much about Bhavensana. She had a lot going on. I didn't tell her that Bhavensana was a pink flower. I just told her that, here's this tiny cup of tea, that we're going to share, so that she could feel how much she is loved. And the ceremony with her was very beautiful. We sat in silence for most of it, just holding each other. And I tell you this because a miracle happened, and I wanted to share that. Without knowing anything about Bhavensana, later that night, my daughter, whose name is Serenity, she drew me a picture that I want to share with everybody. It's right here on the wall. This is like my show and tell session. And if you can see it, without knowing that Bhavensana is a pink flower from which the tea is made, she drew Bhavensana. And, what a gift to me, what a gift to her. And I know this will change the course of her life. And when I told her about this interview, she said, can you share about the picture? And I told her that I would. So.
Well, Cathy, that is such a beautiful experience. And it brings us into color. You were talking about the pink flowers. So you see people in color. What do the colors mean?
So I have to say, stay tuned on that one. I intend to write a book to outline the specific characteristics and attributes of each color that I see and have documented over time. And I think this is going to help a lot of people. And I know it'll be very cathartic for me as well.
So I can't wait for you to tell me what my colors are, what Jade's colors are. But we won't get into that now. I'll be here.
I've been dying to tell both of you.
We'll look forward to that at a later time.
Awesome.
So then, like, what's shifted in your life now that you're embracing we'll call it spirituality, your empathic gifts, your all of the things?
Thank you. Definitely my career, and which surprised me, because at first I thought, well, I'll leave corporate America and I'll become a spiritual healer and a full-time author and all that. And but it actually helped my career, by bringing anything to do with empathy, to work. And so my career, blossomed. Life outside my career blossomed. And for that, I am extremely grateful. And when you do not dim to fit in, others around you follow suit. So they grow and expand with you. And those you mentor, those you work with, everybody. I now feel a stronger connection with others. And I am definitely on my life's path. Some days, like other empaths, I struggle. And I wish I could go back and take the blue pill instead of the red one. But that's probably at least once a week, but I am more fulfilled and happier. I know my path. I know my purpose.
Oh, yes. And Cathy, over the last couple of years, we're going to use one of those words that we like to leave out of most language, but it's been hard. We have to acknowledge what is. We've been through COVID and now war. What would you recommend that we focus on?
So I was in war as a foreign war correspondent years and years and years ago, when I first started out in writing. And war feeds off of hate and chaos, and things like COVID keep us apart. So to counter this every day with dedication and passion, we need to find time to pray or meditate, to be grateful, to love, to shift the energy towards a positive one, towards healing. That is why so many spiritual healers are coming forth now, why God is sending more angels, and why we have to see that we are all connected with one another, that we all have that purpose to fulfill, and we need to look for love towards gratitude and expand our ability to see and understand others. That is definitely why we were doing this book, You Empath You. And I just want to thank you too for allowing me to be part of it.
Oh, you are our delight. We adore you. So Cathy, can you do us a favor and let our audience know how to be in touch with you and get on your announcement list, or like, can you give us your email? What do you
Sure.
What do you got
I
for
would
us?
love to. I would love to. So my email is Balken Cathy, Balken, Cathy with a C at gmail.com. So that's balkencathy@gmail.com.
Fantastic. And they can just send you a quick email and ask you to be on your mailing list?
Absolutely. I would love that.
Fabulous. So back to you, Jade.
Well, Cathy, what you're doing out in the world is so important. I mean, my goodness, you are bringing your natural intuitive gifts, and you are bringing the mentorship and the willingness to stay bright, no dimming allowed, so that other people will actually take that little dimmer switch that they've got and move it up into the world. You're getting ready to write a book that talks about the colors the way you see them, which is a little different than how some other people see them, which is really cool. I can feel in my heart what that's going to bring to the people who are seeing things in a little different color than maybe was in the old world, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
thank you so much for being here on the summit with us, the Insight Summit for Empaths with Rebecca and I.
Thank you.
Well, everyone, thank you, audience, for being here, for staying and watching Cathy share the magic that she has got out with the world. And remember, everyone, that on the 28th of April, 2022, where we are, Cathy brought us into 2023 for a second there during this time. I was like, whoop, timeline jumping. It's happening. Um, Listen to this for you, and then share the magic that's available to everybody through what she shared with you. Keep listening to the summit speakers. They've got information for you. Take a moment, and no matter what kind of an operational device you have, put a little calendar reminder in to buy the book on April 28th, when the Kindle will be 99 cents, so that you can get into
Woohoo!
that movement, right? You can get into that wave of really moving these messages of You Empath You out into the world. We've got dozens of bonuses from our authors and our partners for you. You're going to take your receipt back to the youempathyobook.com website, and that's the letter U and the word empath, EMPATHYOUBOOK.com, so that you can get all those bonuses with your receipt number. April 28th, 2022, 99-cent Kindle book, and gratitude from us. So much gratitude for taking the time to be here with us during the summit, continuing to watch the other insights coming from the other authors, and much, much aloha and gratitude to you all. Thank you.